The Great Hall of the Galactic Council was silent. 847 different species sat in their seats, watching the center stage. The air felt heavy with decision. Minho Kim, Earth's main ambassador, stood with his hands behind his back. Next to him, Una Park held a data pad, but she was not looking at it. Both humans wore dark blue uniforms with Earth's symbol on the chest. Speaker Vextar rose from the highest seat. He was tall and thin, with skin like silver metal. His voice came through the translation machines in perfect English. The vote is complete. The decision is final. Minho did not move. Una did not blink. They had expected this. The human species will be removed from galactic society, Vextar continued. All trade will stop. All communication will end. No human may enter galactic space. No galactic citizen may visit human space. The speaker looked down at his notes. The crimes of humanity are many. You expand too fast. You fight too much. You take our technology and change it without permission. You welcome species that we have rejected. In the audience, hundreds of alien eyes watched the two humans. Some aliens looked happy. Others looked worried. A few looked sad. Vextar raised his hand. The Zephyrian people tried to live in peace. For 1,000 years, they failed. The Council declared them extinct. But humans took them in. You gave them new homes. You helped them grow strong again. Minho smiled a little. The Zephyrians now had 12 worlds in human space. They were doing very well. The gentlefolk of Kepler 442 could not fight the plague that killed their world, Vextar went on. The Council could not help them. We marked their planet as dead. But humans came. You cleaned their air. You healed their sick. You brought them back from nothing. Una thought about the gentlefolk. They were small, soft creatures who loved music and art. Human doctors had worked for 5 years to save them. Now they taught human children to sing in harmony that could make people cry with joy. The Iron Shell people were warriors who could not make peace, Vextar said. His voice was getting louder. They destroyed their own planet with war. The Council banned them from all worlds, but humans found them floating in broken ships in dead space. You gave them a chance to build instead of fight. The Iron Shell people now built the best space stations in human territory. Their warrior skills helped them make structures that could survive anything. These are your crimes, Vextar announced. You do not follow the rules. You do not ask permission. You see a broken thing and you fix it. You see a weak people and you make them strong. You take what we throw away and make it better than what we kept. More aliens in the audience were looking worried now. Some were whispering to each other. But your greatest crime, Vextar's voice became very serious, is that you make us look bad. When other species see what humans can do, they ask why the Council cannot do the same. They wonder why we have rules that keep us from helping. They think that maybe humans know something we do not. Minho and Una looked at each other. This was better than they had hoped. The Council was afraid. So the vote is final, Vextar said. Humans have 6 months to leave all galactic space. All human citizens must return to Earth's solar system. You will be given a 50 light-year zone around your sun. No one may enter. You may not leave. Speaker sat down. The hall was quiet again. Minho stepped forward. We understand the decision. We will follow the rules. Do you have anything to say? Vextar asked. Minho looked around the great hall. Yes, thank you. Many aliens made surprised sounds. This was not what they expected. "Thank you for making this easy," Yuna added. She was smiling now. "We have been planning for this day for 3 years." Vextar leaned forward. "Planning? Did you think we were stupid?" Minho asked. "We saw the votes in the smaller councils. We heard the complaints. We knew this would happen." Yuna held up her data pad. "Every human colony has emergency supplies. Every human ship has extra fuel. Every human family in galactic space has been ready to leave for months." "But why?" asked Council Member Thrak, a large alien with 4 arms. "Why plan to be exiled?" Minho's smile got bigger. "Because exile means freedom. In galactic space, we had to follow your rules. We had to ask permission to help people. We had to pretend that your way was the only way. Now we can do things right," Yuna said. "Now we can build something better." "You will be alone," Vextar warned. "No trade, no help, no friends." "We will not be alone," Minho replied. 50,000 Zephyrians asked to come with us. 30,000 gentlefolk want to leave their safe worlds to follow humans into exile. Even 20,000 Iron Shell warriors are coming. The hall erupted in noise. Aliens were talking loudly to each other. Some were standing up. Some were pointing at the humans. "That is impossible," Vextar shouted over the noise. "Those species are galactic citizens. They cannot leave. They can choose," Yuna said calmly. "And they choose humans. You are stealing our people." "We are offering hope," Minho said, "something the Council forgot how to do." Vextar was angry now. His silver skin was turning dark. "You will fail. Without galactic technology, without our trade routes, without our protection, you will die in the cold space beyond our borders." Minho and Yuna looked at each other one more time. Then they both started laughing. "Protection?" Minho said. "From what? You have not fought a real war in 300 years. Your ships are old. Your weapons are weak. You are so busy making rules that you forgot how to be strong." "And our technology?" Yuna added. "We have been taking your broken machines and making them work better for 50 years. We know more about your technology than you do." The 2 humans turned and walked toward the exit. They did not run. They did not hurry. They walked like people who had important work to do. "You will regret this," Vextar called after them. Minho stopped at the door and looked back. "No, you will." As the humans left, the great hall fell silent again. But this time, the silence felt different. It felt worried. It felt like the beginning of something the Council did not understand. Outside the hall, Yuna activated her communication device. "This is Ambassador Park to all human ships and stations. The exile vote passed. Begin protocol exodus immediately." Across the galaxy, humans began to move. They had 6 months to leave, but they were already packed and ready to go. The Council thought they were sending humans away in shame. They were wrong. They were setting humanity free. Captain Seok Jin was studying star maps when the message came. His ship, the New Soul, was far from any galactic trade route. They were mapping empty space that no one cared about. At least, that was what the Council thought. "Captain," called Communications Officer Mirai from her station. "Priority message from Earth Command." Seok Jin walked over to read the message. His face stayed calm, but inside, he felt excited. "Dr. Cho, please come to the bridge." Dr. Hana Cho arrived quickly. She was the chief scientist on the New Soul. Her team had been working day and night on something special. When she read the message, she smiled. "Protocol Exodus?" she asked. "Protocol Exodus," Seok-jin confirmed. "How much time do you need?" "Give me 6 hours," Hana said. "We need to finish downloading everything from the artifact." The artifact was why they were really here. 3 months ago, human scouts had found it floating in dead space. It was a huge metal structure, clearly very old. Inside were computers and machines from a race that died long before the Galactic Council existed. The Council never looked for things like this. They thought old technology was useless. Humans thought differently. "What did you find in there?" Seok-jin asked. Hana's eyes lit up. "Captain, this changes everything. The civilization that built this was incredible. Their technology is thousands of years ahead of what the Council uses now." She showed him a small device. It looked simple, just a metal cube with strange markings. "This is a power generator. It is smaller than my hand, but it can power our entire ship for a year." Seok-jin stared at the device. "That is impossible." "That is what I thought too," Hana said. "But it works. And we found dozens of them, plus construction tools, medical equipment, and star charts that show parts of the galaxy no one has ever seen." The captain understood now why Protocol Exodus was perfect timing. With technology like this, humans would not need the Council at all. Far across the galaxy, Admiral Daeho Yoon was having a different kind of day. He commanded New Geneva Station, the biggest human trading post in galactic space. Thousands of humans lived there. Hundreds of alien ships came every day to trade. Now, he had to get everyone out in 6 months. "How many ships do we need?" he asked his staff. "For people, maybe 50 large transports," answered Commander Ji-won. "But for equipment?" "What about equipment?" Ji-won handed him a list. It was very long. "Sir, we have been storing a lot more than just trade goods. Protocol Exodus included stockpiling plans. We have enough industrial equipment to build 10 new stations." Daeho read the list carefully. Manufacturing machines, mining equipment, medical supplies, computer cores, and things that should not have been available for trade. "How did we get all this?" he asked. "Ji-ho Song's team has been very creative with trade agreements," Ji-won explained. Ji-ho Song was the station's trade coordinator. He knew every merchant and every deal in galactic space. When Daeho called him to the command center, Ji-ho arrived with a big smile. "Admiral, you look worried," Ji-ho said. "Do not be. Everything is ready." "How is that possible?" "We just got the Exile order today." Ji-ho laughed. "Sir, we have been preparing for 3 years. Every trade deal included emergency clauses. Every purchase had backup plans. The aliens think they have been trading with us." "Really, we have been trading with them?" Daeho did not understand. "What do you mean?" "Watch," Ji-ho said. He activated the main display screen. It showed the docking bays of New Geneva Station. Alien ships were arriving and leaving as always, but something was different. "Do you see the Corvani freighter in Bay 12? Ji-ho asked. "Yes. They think they are buying human art and luxury goods, but look at what they are really loading." The screen zoomed in. The art containers were actually full of rare metals and electronic components. The luxury goods were advanced computer systems. "The Corvani need these materials for their ships," Ji-ho explained. "We are trading them things they need for things we need, but we are packaging everything to look like normal trade." "That is brilliant," Daeho said. "But what about the aliens who helped us? Some of them have been good friends." Ji-ho's smile got bigger. "That is the best part. Watch Bay 7. Bay 7 had a small ship with Zephyrian markings, but as they watched, humans were loading it with supplies and equipment. Captain Nayeli is taking her family to human space, Jiho explained. Officially, she is delivering a shipment of Zephyrian music crystals to Earth. Unofficially, she is never coming back. All across New Geneva Station, the same thing was happening. Alien friends of humanity were loading their ships with supplies and saying goodbye to the Council forever. "How many aliens are coming with us?" Deho asked. "From this station alone? About 8,000. From all human stations combined? Maybe 200,000. Deho was amazed. The Council thought they were exiling only humans. Instead, they were losing some of their best citizens, too. Engineer Sora Bay was working in the deepest levels of New Geneva Station. Her job was more complicated than moving people and supplies. She had to move entire factories. "The fusion reactor is ready to transport," reported her assistant, Q1. "But are you sure this will work?" Sora looked at the massive machine they had built over 3 years. It did not look like a normal fusion reactor. It looked like something from a dream. "The Council gave us plans for basic fusion power," Sora explained. "But they never said we could not improve those plans. We took their design and made it 10 times better." The reactor used ideas from 5 different alien technologies, plus some human innovations that no one had thought of before. It was smaller, safer, and more powerful than anything in galactic space. "What about the manufacturing units?" Q1 asked. "Already packed and loaded," Sora said. "Every machine on this station can be broken down and rebuilt anywhere we want. The Council thought they were letting us build trade stations. We built portable industrial colonies." She walked over to a window that looked out into space. Hundreds of ships were moving around New Geneva Station. Some were human ships loading supplies. Others were alien ships that looked normal, but were actually helping the evacuation. "The Council made a big mistake," Sora said quietly. "What mistake?" "They forgot that humans do not just use technology. We improve it. We share it. We teach others how to make it better." She turned away from the window. "They are not exiling us. They are graduating us." As news of the exile spread through galactic space, something unexpected began to happen. Alien species that had been helped by humans started making choices. The gentlefolk announced they were moving their entire population to follow humanity. The Iron Shell warriors declared that honor required them to stand with their human allies. Even some council member species quietly sent messages to human leaders. The messages all said the same thing. "Can we come too?" Back on the New Sol, Captain Seok-jin received a final transmission from the ancient artifact. Dr. Hana Cho had downloaded everything successfully. "Captain," she said, "I think I know why that old civilization died out." "Why?" "They were too successful. They built technology that was so advanced, so perfect, that they stopped growing. They stopped exploring. They became comfortable and safe." Seok-jin understood. "Like the Council." "Exactly like the Council," Hana agreed. "But humans are different. We take good technology and make it better. We take broken things and fix them. We never stop moving forward." She held up a data crystal, containing all the information from the artifact. "With this knowledge, plus everything we have learned from the galactic species, we can build something amazing." The New Sol turned away from the dead artifact and set course for human space. Behind them, they left the galaxy that had rejected humanity. Ahead of them lay the unknown, full of possibilities that the Council could never imagine. President Kyung-ho stood in his office in Seoul, looking out at the Han River. The water reflected the lights of the city, just as it had for hundreds of years. But tonight was different. Tonight was the last night that Earth would be part of. Galactic civilization. Tomorrow, the final human ships would leave galactic space forever. "Mr. President," said his aide, Suman, "the broadcast equipment is ready." Kyung-ho nodded. This speech would reach every human in the galaxy, plus millions of aliens who had chosen to follow humanity into exile. He had written it himself, keeping the words simple but strong. He walked to the broadcast room where cameras waited. Behind him, a large window showed Earth's blue skies and green lands. This was important. He wanted everyone to remember what they were fighting for. "Begin transmission," he said. The red light on the camera turned on. Across the galaxy, screens activated on ships, stations, and planets where humans lived. "My fellow humans," Kyung-ho began, "tomorrow we go home. Not just to Earth, but to ourselves. For too long, we have lived by rules made by others. We have asked permission to help people who needed help. We have been told that our way of doing things is wrong." He paused, looking directly into the camera. "But we know the truth. Our way works. When we see something broken, we fix it. When we find people who are suffering, we help them. When we discover new technology, we make it better and share it with our friends." On the space station orbiting Mars, families gathered around screens to watch their president. Children who had been born in space listened carefully to words about a world many had never seen. "The Council called our actions crimes," Kyung-ho continued. "They said we were dangerous because we would not follow their rules. They were right about one thing. We are dangerous. We are dangerous to systems that keep people down. We are dangerous to governments that care more about control than progress." In the asteroid belt, miners stopped their work to listen. These were tough people who had spent years digging valuable metals from floating rocks. They understood what it meant to work hard for a better future. "Today begins a new chapter for humanity," the president said. "We are not running away in shame. We are walking toward freedom. We have planned for this day. We are ready." Meanwhile, in orbit around Earth, Director Taemin Lee was very busy. He ran the Human Colonial Development Authority, the organization that had built every human settlement in galactic space. Now he was overseeing the biggest move in human history. "Status report," he called to his staff. "Sector 7 is complete," reported Manager Yoon Seo. "All industrial equipment has been loaded. All families are aboard transport ships." "Sector 12? 90% complete. The last group of Zephyrian families is boarding now." Taemin looked at his main display screen. It showed a map of the HFY galaxy with thousands of moving dots. Each dot was a ship carrying humans and their alien friends away from Council space. "How many aliens chose to come with us?" he asked. Yunseo checked her data pad. "Final count is 412,000 aliens from 67 different species." Taemin was amazed. The Council had tried to exile only humans, but they were losing some of their best citizens, too. "Any problems with Council forces?" "None so far," Yunseo replied. "They seem happy to let us go quietly." But Taemin knew the truth would be different once humans were gone. Some Council species were already planning to attack the human fleet once it left galactic protection. They wanted human technology and resources without having to trade for them. The Council species thought humans would be easy targets once they were alone in empty space. They were about to learn how wrong they could be. On the science ship Busan's Pride, Dr. Yoonji Nam was working with her research team. They had spent years studying alien technology in secret, always improving it, always making it better. Thar, new jump drives are ready, she told Captain Minsu, the ship's commander. How much better are they than Council drives? He asked. Yunji smiled. Council ships can jump 20 light years at a time, then must wait 6 hours to recharge. Our ships can jump 50 light years and recharge in 30 minutes. That is incredible. That is not the best part, Yunji continued. We can also jump while moving at full speed. Council ships must stop completely before they can jump. Captain Minsu understood what this meant. Human ships could run circles around anything the Council had. What about weapons? He asked. We do not plan to start fights, Yunji said. But if someone attacks us, they will be very surprised. She showed him a small device that looked like a regular communication scanner. This can detect ships from twice as far as anything the Council uses. And this... She held up another device. This can disable any Council ship's engines from a distance of 1 light minute. How is that possible? We studied every piece of alien technology we could find, Yunji explained. Then we figured out how to make it work together. Council species keep their technology separate. They do not share. They do not improve. We do both. Back on Earth, President Kyung-ho was finishing his speech. He could see in his mind all the humans watching across the galaxy. Workers on mining stations, families on colony ships, scientists on research vessels, soldiers guarding the human fleet. The Council fears us because we represent change, he said. They have been in power for so long that they forgot what it feels like to grow. They built a system designed to stay the same forever. He walked closer to the camera. But nothing stays the same forever. The universe is always moving, always changing, always creating new possibilities. We understand this. We embrace it. On New Geneva Station, the last humans were boarding evacuation ships. Admiral Daeho Yoon walked through empty corridors that had once been full of life and activity. In a few hours, this place would be abandoned, but it would not be wasted. Hidden throughout the station were gifts for whoever came next. Computer, files with improved technology designs, medical supplies that could save millions of lives, educational programs that could help entire species advance faster than they ever thought possible. Why are we leaving all this? Asked Commander Ji-won. Because that is what humans do, Daeho replied. We make things better, even for people who reject us. The final ships were loading now. Humans and their alien friends moved quickly and efficiently. Everyone knew their job. Everyone understood the plan. As the last transport ship pulled away from New Geneva Station, its captain sent a message to the station's computer system. The message activated programs that would broadcast human knowledge throughout Galactic. Space for anyone willing to learn. President Kyung-ho concluded his speech with words that would be remembered for generations. To our friends who chose to come with us, welcome to the human family. To the Council species who rejected us, we wish you well. And to anyone who wants to build a better future, you will always have a place with us. The transmission ended. Across the galaxy, human ships began their final jumps toward home. They carried not just people and supplies, but hopes and dreams for something better than what they were leaving behind. Captain Woo Jin Kang commanded the destroyer Incheon, one of the ships protecting the human fleet. His sensors detected something troubling. Several alien fleets were following the humans, staying just outside scanning range. "Captain," called his sensor operator, Ha-Yun, "I count at least 30 enemy ships. They are trying to stay hidden, but they are definitely tracking us." Woo Jin was not surprised. The Council might have voted for Exile, but some species wanted Human technology badly enough to take it by force. They thought humans would be easy prey once they left galactic protection. Are our special systems ready? He asked. All systems green, Captain, reported Engineer Dongyun. Wu Jin smiled. The enemy fleets were about to discover that humans had not been idle during their 50 years in galactic space. Every improvement, every innovation, every lesson learned from alien technology had been carefully saved and improved. The hunters thought they were chasing helpless prey. Soon they would learn who the real predators were. As Earth's sun set on the last day of galactic membership, humanity prepared for a future that would be entirely their own creation. 6 months had passed since the human fleet left galactic space. In that time, something amazing had happened in the empty region beyond the galaxy's edge. Where once there had been only dark space and scattered rocks, now there was a growing civilization. Director In-Ho Park stood on the observation deck of New Humanity Station, watching construction ships work on the latest expansion. The station was already larger than any council structure, and it grew bigger every day. "How many people live here now?" asked his assistant Gayung. 12 million humans and 8 million aliens, In-Ho replied. More arrive every week. New Humanity Station was not just one structure. It was a massive complex of connected habitats, factories, research centers, and docking bays. Ships came and went constantly, bringing supplies, people, and news from the expanding human territories. The hydroponics farms are producing 30% more food than we projected, Gayung reported. The gentlefolk have shared their agricultural techniques. Combined with human engineering, we can feed twice as many people as originally planned. In-Ho nodded. This was how humanity worked best. Different species brought different skills, and together they created something better than any could manage alone. What about the exploration reports? He asked. Gayung's face lit up with excitement. Captain Minji Yu's fleet found something incredible. You need to see this. She activated a large display screen that showed a 3-dimensional map of local space. Scattered throughout the region were thousands of small dots, each representing a discovery. Ancient structures, Gayung explained. They are everywhere. Most are very old and not working, but some are still active. In-Ho studied the map carefully. How old? Dr. Jinsu Han's team believes they are at least 50,000 years old, maybe older. This was extraordinary news. The Galactic Council thought their civilization was the first to achieve interstellar travel. They believed that before them, space had been empty and lifeless. They were wrong. Captain Minji Yu was aboard. The exploration ship Jeju Islander, investigating one of the larger ancient structures. It floated in space like a metal mountain, dark and silent, but as her team got closer, they realized it was not dead. "Captain," called Science Officer Chunai from her station, "I am detecting power signatures inside the structure." "Active power?" "Yes, ma'am. Very low level, but definitely active. Something in there is still working after all these years." Minji felt excited and nervous at the same time. Humans had found many ancient ruins, but this was the first one that still had power. "Can we dock with it safely?" "The structure has functioning docking ports," reported Navigation Officer Taejun. "They appear to be compatible with our systems." This was another surprise. How could 50,000-year-old docking ports work with human ships? "Take us in slowly," Minji ordered. "Full sensors. I want to know everything about this place." As the Jeju Islander approached the ancient structure, more surprises became clear. The metal was not corroded or damaged despite its age. The design was elegant and efficient, far more advanced than anything the Council used. "Ma'am," called Communications Officer Jeho, "I am receiving a signal from the structure." "What kind of signal?" "It appears to be a greeting, in multiple languages, including some human languages." Minji was shocked. "That is impossible. Humans have only been in space for 200 years. How could an ancient structure know human languages?" Dr. Jinsu Han was leading the scientific team aboard the Jeju Islander. When they finally docked with the ancient structure, he was the first to board. What he found inside changed everything he thought he knew about galactic history. The corridors were wide and well lit. The air was clean and breathable. Gravity was exactly Earth normal. It was as if the structure had been waiting for humans to arrive. "This makes no sense," said his assistant, Dr. Somin. "How can this place be so perfectly suited for human life?" Jinsu was studying symbols on the walls. They were not like any alien writing he had ever seen, but somehow they seemed familiar. "I think these people were not aliens at all." "What do you mean?" "Look at the proportions of these doorways. Look at the height of these control panels. Everything here was built for beings exactly our size." They entered what appeared to be a central control room. In the center was a large crystalline structure that glowed with soft blue light. As Jinsu approached it, the crystal began to pulse brighter. Suddenly, images appeared in the air around them. They showed a galaxy full of life and activity. Ships moving between stars, planets covered with cities. Beings that looked remarkably like humans, but with subtle differences. "These are the builders," Jinsu whispered. "This is their history." The images told an incredible story. Long ago, the galaxy had been home to a civilization much like humanity. They were explorers and builders who helped other species develop and grow. They created technologies that could do anything, solve any problem, heal any wound. But they made one mistake. They became too successful, too comfortable, too safe. They stopped exploring. They stopped growing. They focused only on maintaining what they had already built. Slowly, their civilization stagnated and declined. Species. They had helped forgot their lessons and fought each other. Technologies were lost or misused. The great builders withdrew to hidden places like this structure, watching their galaxy tear itself apart. "What happened to them?" Dr. Somin asked. The crystal showed the final images. The builders had not died out. They had transformed themselves, becoming something beyond physical existence. But before they left, they had hidden their technologies and knowledge throughout the galaxy, waiting for someone worthy to find them. Someone like humanity. Meanwhile, far from the ancient ruins, the enemies that Captain Wu Jin Kang had detected were finally making their move. 3 fleets of Council warships had been following the human exodus, waiting for the right moment to attack. The hegemony species led the assault. They were aggressive and violent, believing that strength was the only thing that mattered. Their ships were heavily armed, and their crews were trained for war. "Human fleet detected," reported Tactical Officer Riem aboard the hegemony flagship. "They appear to be defenseless civilian ships." Fleet Commander Vorthak smiled, showing his sharp teeth. "Perfect. We will take their technology and sell their people as slaves. The Council will pay well for human prisoners." The hegemony fleet included 30 warships, each heavily armed and armored. Behind them came fleets from 2 other aggressive species. Together, they had enough firepower to destroy a small planet. They expected to find helpless refugees running away in fear. Instead, they found Admiral Sun Hee Kim waiting for them with the human defense fleet. "Enemy ships detected. called scanner operator Jaewon aboard Admiral Kim's flagship, the Soul's Pride. 63 vessels total. They are moving to attack formation. Admiral Kim looked at her tactical display calmly. She had been expecting this attack for months. Signal the fleet. Activate combat systems. Around the Soul's Pride, 40 human ships suddenly transformed. What had looked like civilian transports revealed hidden weapons and armor. What had appeared to be simple escorts showed themselves to be advanced warships using technology the Council had never seen. "Ma'am," reported Weapons Officer Junho, "all ships report ready for combat." Admiral Kim opened a communication channel to the enemy fleet. "Hegemony ships, this is Admiral Sun-hee Kim of the Human Defense Force. You are in violation of the Exile Treaty. Leave immediately or face the consequences." Fleet Commander Vorthak laughed when he heard the message. "Consequences? From refugee ships? Attack! Take everything they have!" The Hegemony fleet charged forward, weapons firing. Their plasma cannons and missile launchers were the most powerful weapons in Council space. They had never failed to destroy their targets, but human ships moved differently than anything the Hegemony had ever fought. They dodged and twisted through space like dancers, avoiding most of the incoming fire. The few shots that hit were absorbed by shields that flickered with impossible colors. "How are they moving so fast?" demanded Vorthak. "Unknown, Commander," replied his tactical officer. "Their acceleration is 3 times what our sensors indicate is possible." Then the human ships began to fight back. General Hyunwoo Jang led the A ground assault teams. But in space battles, his job was to coordinate the fighter squadrons. Human fighters were small and fast, but they carried weapons that should not have been possible to miniature. "Squadron leaders, begin attack runs," General Jang ordered. "Remember, we want some of their ships intact for intelligence gathering." The human fighters swarmed around the enemy fleet like angry insects. Their weapons did not just damage enemy ships, they seemed to turn off their systems entirely. "Commander!" shouted the Hegemony tactical officer. "Our ships are losing power. Engines are shutting down. Weapons are going offline." Vorthak watched in horror as his mighty fleet became helpless. Ship after ship went dark as human fighters buzzed around them. "What are they doing to us? Communications Officer Yeji Shin aboard." The Soul's Pride was broadcasting everything back to galactic space. Every species in the Council would see this battle. They would understand that humanity was not running away in fear, they were choosing to leave. "All enemy ships have been disabled," she reported to Admiral Kim. "Their weapons are offline, but life support is intact." 1 year had passed since humanity's exile began. The Galactic Council chamber looked the same as always, but everything had changed. Many seats were empty now. Entire species had left to join the human coalition, and more were leaving every day. Speaker Vextar stood at his podium, but his silver skin looked dull and tired. The council that had once ruled 847 species now controlled fewer than 400. "The trade reports," he said quietly. Trade Minister Kelvok stepped forward. He was a large alien with multiple arms, and all of them were shaking. "The situation is worse than last month. 17 more species have joined the Human Alliance. Trade routes are collapsing. Our economy is failing." "What do they offer that we cannot?" demanded Council Member Thrak. "Everything," Kelvok replied. "Better technology, better medicine, better ships, better weapons. The humans share their knowledge freely with anyone who joins them. And what do they ask for in return? Nothing. They ask for nothing except that their allies help each other." The chamber erupted in angry voices. This was impossible. No civilization shared advanced technology for free. There had to be a trap, a hidden cost, a secret plan for conquest. But there was not. Humanity was simply doing what it had always done, making things better and sharing the improvements with friends. Far from the council chamber, Trade Minister Bomi Oh was meeting with President Kyung Ho on New Humanity Station. She had once worked for the Korean government, but now she managed trade relationships for all of human space. The council sent another delegation, she reported. They want to negotiate. President Kyung Ho looked out at the bustling activity. Around the station, ships from dozens of species came and went constantly. Alien families were moving to human territories every day, seeking better lives for their children. What do they offer? He asked. They want to restore humanity's membership in the council. Full trade rights, full galactic citizenship. They even offered to make Earth a permanent member of the ruling council. The president laughed. A year ago, they exiled us as criminals. Now they offer us leadership positions. What changed? We did, Bomi replied. Or rather, what we built changed everything. She activated a holographic display that showed the current map of galactic civilization. The old council territory was shrinking every day, while human-controlled space was expanding rapidly. We now control 37% of galactic trade routes, Bomi explained. Our technology is decades ahead of anything the council uses. Our member species are happier, healthier, and more prosperous than ever before. And our response to the council's offer? Bomi smiled. Ambassador Yu already delivered our answer. Ambassador Sang-Yun Yu had been chosen carefully for his mission to the council. He was calm, polite, and absolutely unshakable in his convictions. When he arrived at the council chamber, he brought with him a simple message. The human coalition extends an invitation to all galactic species, he announced to the assembled delegates. Any world, any species, any individual who wishes to join our alliance is welcome. What are your terms? Asked Speaker Vextar. No terms, Sang-Hyun replied. We ask only that our allies treat each other with respect and share knowledge freely. Impossible. No government can function without rules and regulations. Our government functions very well, Sang-Hyun said calmly. We have no need for the council's bureaucratic systems. Merit determines leadership. Results determine policy. Innovation determines progress. He activated a small device that projected images into the center of the chamber. The images showed human territories filled with thriving cities, advanced factories, and happy populations. This is what we offer, he said. Not membership in a failing council, but partnership in a growing civilization. Council member Thrak leaned forward angrily. You cannot simply replace galactic civilization. We have maintained order for thousands of years. Have you? Sang-Hyun asked. How many wars has the council failed to prevent? How many species have gone extinct while the council debated what to do? How many problems could have been solved if you had focused on helping people instead of controlling them? The chamber fell silent. Everyone knew the answer. Captain Jiyeon Kwok commanded the exploration ship Daigu's Dream, one of dozens of vessels mapping the galaxy's ancient ruins. What her team discovered changed humanity's understanding of their place in the universe. Captain called her science officer, Dr. Min-jae. You need to see this. They were exploring a massive structure hidden inside an asteroid field. Unlike the other ruins, this one was clearly a central hub, connected to thousands of other sites across the galaxy. It is a communication network, Dr. Min-jae explained. The ancient builders used it to share knowledge instantly across the entire galaxy. Is it still functional? More than functional. It is active. The network has been waiting for someone to reactivate it fully. Captain Jian felt excitement building. What would happen if we connected our systems to it? We could communicate instantly with any human settlement, no matter how far away. We could share research data, coordinate projects, and work together as if we were all in the same room. This was bigger than faster ships or better weapons. This was the key to building a truly galactic civilization where distance meant nothing, and knowledge belonged to everyone. Make the connection, Jian ordered. As human ships activated the ancient network, something wonderful happened. Every human settlement, every allied species, every research station suddenly gained access to the combined knowledge of their entire civilization. Dr. Yunji Nam, working aboard a research vessel near the Galactic Rim, suddenly found she could collaborate in real time with scientists thousands of light years away. Problems that would have taken years to solve were resolved in days. Engineer Sora Bay, building new habitats in unexplored space, could instantly access design improvements developed by teams across human territory. Construction projects that should have taken decades were completed in months. The ancient network did more than just carry messages. It carried ideas, innovations, and inspirations that sparked new discoveries every day. Director Changmin Seo oversaw the construction of the gateway stations that would revolutionize galactic travel. The ancient technology allowed human ships to travel instantly between any two connected points, making the old Council trade routes obsolete. The first gateway is ready for testing, he reported to President Kyung-ho. Where does it connect to? The old Zephyrian homeworld, the one the Council declared dead and abandoned. This was perfect symbolism. The first instant travel route would reconnect humanity with one of the species they had rescued from extinction. When the gateway activated, something beautiful happened. Zephyrian families who had not seen their ancestral home in decades were suddenly able to visit in minutes instead of months. The planet, restored by human terraforming technology, was green and alive again. Sir, Director Changmin called excitedly. The Zephyrians want to build their own gateway network. They want to connect all their worlds to the human system. Within weeks, dozens of species were requesting gateway connections. The human network was becoming a galactic network, open to everyone who wanted to participate. The Council's slow, expensive, bureaucratic trade routes were becoming empty as ships switched to the instant human gateways. President Kyung-ho prepared for his final address to both the remaining Council and humanity's growing alliance. The speech would be broadcast across the galaxy, reaching every populated world and space station. He stood before cameras on New Humanity Station, with the bustling activity of galactic civilization visible through the windows behind him. 1 year ago, the Galactic Council voted to exile Earth because they feared what humanity might become, he began. They were right to fear us, but wrong about who should be afraid. In the council chamber, the remaining delegates watched the broadcast in silence. Many were taking notes. Some were making secret communications with their home governments. We are not your enemies, President Kyung-ho continued. We are your replacement. The council represented the old way of doing things: control through fear, order through bureaucracy, progress through permission. He gestured toward the thriving civilization visible outside. We represent something new: growth through cooperation, order through respect, progress through innovation. The president's voice became stronger. The council tried to exile us because we made them look bad. Because when other species saw what humans could accomplish, they began to ask why their own government could not do the same. On worlds across the galaxy, entire populations were watching the broadcast. Many were already preparing to leave Council space and join the Human Alliance. Today, I make this offer one final time, President Kyung-ho announced. Every species, every world, every individual who wants to build a better future is welcome in our alliance. We will share our technology, our knowledge, and our dreams with anyone willing to work toward the common good. He paused, looking directly into the camera. To the Council members watching this broadcast, you have a choice. Continue trying to maintain a failing system that serves no one, or join us in building something better. The transmission ended. Within hours, 23 more species announced their intention to leave the Council and join humanity.